This is Broward Housing Solutions, and we're over here with Andrea, and she's going to share with us her story.
Hi, I'm Andrea Mendez, and it is such an honor and a blessing to be able to, share a message of hope. For so long, for so many years, I really felt that there was no hope. I felt that, my life would always be the way that it was. I felt that there was no way out of the way that I felt. I didn't think that, that anyone in the world was like me. I felt that I was the only one that acted the way that I acted, felt the way that I felt. I ran from my family from a very young age. I distanced myself, basically hid in the darkness for a very, very long time. And, I didn't understand why it was that I felt the way I felt, and really just tried to put anything in me that I could to make myself feel a little normal. And that was the thing. Any drug or any alcohol or anything that I did really never actually made me feel the way I wanted to, but it made me feel a little better than being without anything. So I just did that, and it wasn't a particular drug. It was just anything I could get my hands on, or anything that I thought maybe would make me feel, the way I thought I should feel. So I guess you could say I was lost in the world for a very long time. Before I had my children, my life was basically not worth living. My family didn't know what was wrong with me. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I was on a path of getting arrested. And in these arresting times when I would get arrested, psychiatrists would come and see me in the jail. And I would always say, why do I always come to the psychiatric part of the jail? And there wasn't actually a very, very nice doctor that for the first time I actually sat and listened to her. And she said, Andrea, do you know what bipolar is? And I looked at her like she was crazy and said, well, that's not me, and she says, listen, there are famous people in the world that have this disease. And I'm not saying that, 100% that's what it is, but I think maybe it's something you need to talk with your family and consider of going for, a further evaluation. So at that time, that's when the thoughts in my mind of maybe I had a mental illness began. I still just didn't want to accept, believe, or tell anyone what the lady had said to me. The more that I thought about it, and the more I prayed and asked God to show me the answer of what I was looking for, I found out people in my family had mental illness as well. And it was just a long line, actually, of people in my family that were dealing with either, anxiety, depression, bipolar, all different things. Well, when I had my first child, which is Athena, she was the biggest miracle in my life. And I guess you could say that's when the recovery began for me, just really wanting to figure out what it was that I needed to do in order to live a functioning, normal life. I really didn't exactly know what that was going to be. My husband, which wasn't my husband at the time, we were just basically boyfriend and girlfriend. Our relationship was off and on for so long. We never stayed together for very long because I was so out of control. He couldn't be around me for very long, but he still loved me so much that he always came back. So Athena was the first thing in my life where I knew I had to do something. And I finally did some further research, and I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. So I guess I could just say that I really gave my faith to the Lord. I gave my faith. I begged and pleaded for God to show me, a life that, was worth living, a life that I could be proud of, a life that, that I could have for Athena. And little did I know, when I was praying this, I was already pregnant with my son Dominic. She was home 3 months old when I was pregnant with Dominic. I prayed for God to give me 2 children, that was what I wanted in life, was to be a mom. I had that heart to love, to be a mom, and that's what I wanted. And I didn't know how I would be able to, afford to take care of them with my husband, with different jobs. He's got a back problem, and it's hard for him to find a job that he can really stay at without, having to end up in the emergency room because of the back problems that he has is so severe. But anyhow, Archways, has been with me, for a very long time. And they saw, how far I've come. I took the medication that I so fought for so long, and ever since I started doing that with the psychiatrist and the one-on-one counseling and just really digging deep and things like that, things just started working out. I started just really believing in myself for the first time. They put me on the list for housing, and I didn't even know that existed. When they told me that there was an opening, that they said that we don't understand how you got to the top of the list because you were just at the bottom, Andrea. We don't understand it. We don't know what happened, but you're at the top. I said, okay, thank you, God. I know this is you. This has to be for me. We were living with my mom, 11 people in one house. Shortly after that, we were in a trailer. So I was at the trailer at the time when they gave me this news, and I was ecstatic. I was on the verge of getting my Social Security benefits, and I knew I would because my psychiatrist was fully on my side. So it all came together very, just beautifully. The Social Security, the housing had me come here and look at the apartment. They said there was a few other people, but when I walked in, I just had this feeling that went from my head to my toe, a chill that just went all the way down, and it was like God was saying, Andrea, this is for you. And I knew that I was going to get the apartment. I just knew without even knowing. And surely, about a day and a half later, I got a phone call saying that they were giving it to me. So it's been almost a year that we've been here, and my children are so happy. For the first time, I am just so proud to be who I am. I'm so proud to have the story that I have, because I wouldn't take it back, because it's who I am today. It is what I've been through that makes me who I am today.